Yeah. So very good afternoon to one and all. So today we will discuss about what is data structure. Uh, I'll introduce you about the data structures, and then we'll see how many different types of data structures we can have. Uh, and if the time permits, I will see the first data structure today. See, this topic actually is not concerned to only see here. It is a generalized topic. I can say that it is a generalized topic, the data structure, and you can develop these data structures either using C or C++ or Java or any other programming language, which any other programming language. So, what actually is the data? Already we had discussed about the data in the earlier classes. In the first class itself, I discussed about what actually is the data. So, data is actually the collection of raw facts. The data is actually the collection of raw facts. You know, okay. So, we are just collecting the data and then we are going to organize the data. We are going to organize the data in some form. We are going to perform some manipulations on the data so that we can have the information with us. Okay, so the data structure. Now, if I talk about the data structure is actually it is uh, it is the representation of logical relationship existing between the individual elements of a data. Or you can say that it is a specialized format for organizing and storing the data in the memory that considers not only the elements stored but also the relationship to each other there. So what we are doing here, we are going to actually organize the data. We are going to store the data in the memory. So how you are going to store the data? It's not just the matter that what thing you are going to store. It's not just we should not only think about what we are going to store, but also how those elements or how those things are been related to one another, how you are going to process them, how you are going to access them, how you are going to organize them, how you are going to retrieve them. అంటే మనం దాన్ని ఆ డేటాని మనం ఏ డేటా స్టోర్ చేస్తాం అన్నది ఒక్కటే ఇంపార్టెంట్ కాదు ఇక్కడ. ఆ డేటాని మనం ఏ ఫామ్లో మనం స్టోర్ చేయబోతున్నాం, సో దట్ ఆ డేటాని తర్వాత మనం ఏ విధంగా యాక్సెస్ చేయబోతున్నాం, ఏ విధంగా మనం ఆ డేటాని రిట్రీవ్ చేసుకుంటాం, ఎలా ఐటరేట్ చేస్తాం డేటాలో, ఇవన్నీ కూడా డేటా స్ట్రక్చర్లోకి వస్తాయండి. సో it is a representation of logical relationship existing between individual elements of data. So there will be a logical relationship between the individual elements of the data. Here I will just give you an example of the data structure which is already known to us. Okay, so the known data structure to us is an array. So an array is, if you go for a definition of an array, it is a collection of elements of same type here stored under one name. So what we are doing, you are having the individual elements which are stored side by side. Means when you are declaring an array, so when you say int from a of, when you say int a of some 20, so or if you say int a of 5, so what you are doing here, you are just creating 5 elements which are stored continuously in the memory side by side, and they are accessed by the name a here. Okay, they are accessed by the name a. So 5 memory locations means 10 bytes of memory will be allocated. If your compiler is taking 2 bytes to store the number, so 5 bytes of 10 bytes of memory is allocated continuously, and 2 bytes, each 2 bytes is used to store one number here, right? So it is a logical relationship that exists between the individual elements of an data then. So for storing the data in the memory, it considers the relationship between each other. So the data structure affects the design of both structural and functional aspects of the program. So when you are actually storing the data here, it affects both the design of both the structural and functional aspects of the program. Means how you are going to structure the data, in what form you are going to store the data, not only it is affected, but also functional aspects. That means how actually you are going to perform functions on that data is also important. So as you know that a program is actually the set of instructions. So when you are having the set of instructions, it has an algorithm plus the data structure. The program will have both the algorithm as well as in data structure. So algorithm is step-by-step procedure, you know that. So you have the data structure here. Data structure in the sense, as I told you, the data which has been organized. So you're going using the step-by-step procedure on the structure, on the data structure, so as to access the elements, so as to retrieve the elements, so as to manipulate the elements. So that makes a program here. Okay, now the classification. The next point here to discuss about the classification of data structure. How the data structure can be classified. The data structure is normally divided into two broad categories here. One is primitive data structure and non-primitive data structure. So what is the primitive data structure here? Primitive data structure are those basic structures are directly operated upon by machine instructions. So these are actually the data structures, the primitive data structures are those structures which are directly operated upon by the machine instructions. So the machine instructions can directly act upon them. So these are directly operated upon machine level instructions are known as primitive data structures. So we can say the int, float, char, constants, string, pointers, etc. fall into this category. These all fall into the basic data types in any language falls under this primitive data structures there. Okay. Likewise, what we are going to perform on this primitive data structures, we commonly use the operations creating the structure, selection, updating, and destroying or deleting it. So what you are going to create it. You are going to select whatever you can make the enough selections to that. Then you are going to update the data. Then you can destroy the data. Then we have the non-primitive data structures. These are the more sophisticated data structures that are derived from the primitive data structures. These data structures are derived from the primitive data structures here. They emphasize on structuring the group of homogeneous, same type or the heterogeneous type of information. So what we are going to do here, we are going to group. They emphasize on the stress on the group of homogeneous data type like arrays, we can say, or the heterogeneous data type, or the we can talk about the structures here. We can talk about structures. So if you observe this particular picture now, the classification of data structure, we have the primitive data structures which we are having integers, characters, float, pointers. These all comes under the primitive data structures. So when you go for the non-primitive data structures, again they can be divided into arrays and lists here. They can be divided into arrays and lists. So arrays can be single dimension, they can be two dimension, they can be multi-dimension. They can be a single dimensional array, two dimensional array, and a multi-dimensional array. And if I talk about the non-primitive data structures, the other type of structures is the list. The lists here. Lists again can be divided into the linear data structures on the non-linear, or the linear lists here, non-linear lists here. So the linear list includes stacks, queues, and the linker list. And the non-linear list includes the trees and the graphs. So now this particular portion we are going to discuss. If I say now that out of all, already we have discussed about the primitive data structures. We have discussed this portion earlier. We have handled, we have seen programs how to handle integers, characters, floats, and we have seen about the pointers. And also, thoroughly we have discussed about the single dimensional arrays, two dimensional arrays, and multi-dimensional arrays also. Then we have the lists here. Now, this portion is the one which we are going to discuss thoroughly. This is a portion which we are going to discuss thoroughly in our coming classes here. We are going to discuss about the stacks, the queues, and the linker lists, the non-linear data structures like trees and graphs here. Okay, now, so what is a linear data structure? So linear data structures are the kind of data that has homogeneous elements. These are having homogeneous elements. The data structure in which the elements are in a sequence and form a linear series. They are having the sequence here. Generally, they have the homogeneous elements there, and they form sequence of data, uh, sequence, uh, and form a linear series. The data structure, the linear data structures are very easy to implement, and since the memory of the computer is all organized in linear fashion. So it can be said that this linear data structures are very easy to implement because the memory is also linear. As I told you that when you declare an array, so contiguous memory blocks have been allocated. Likewise, if you go for a stacks or queues or linked list here, so you can access the elements in a linear fashion. So they are stored one by one, one after the another. They can be stored so that they can be accessed very easily. So some of the common linear data structures are stacks, queues, and lists here, linked lists. And if you talk about the non-linear data structures, in which the data item is connected in several other connected to several other data items. So one element can be connected to several other data elements here. This non-linear data structure may exhibit either in a hierarchical relationship or a parent-child relationship. So when you talk about this non-linear data structures, they actually exhibit either a hierarchical relationships. So hierarchy in the sense one after the another, like the parent-child. So at the top we have, say example. So when we supposed to uh, draw a hierarchical relationship here, so we can say. um, we have so such type of relationship we can develop in non-linear data structures. So we can have the homogeneous, an hierarchical relationship here. Okay. This type of relationship is actually possible in case of this non-linear data structures. In hierarchical, a parent-child relationship is formed in non-linear data structures. The data elements are not arranged in sequential. Now here, they are not arranged in a sequential structure. See here, the difference here. You are coming here. So under this particular two elements are there, and again under this there is only one element on, and then this there is one element. So likewise, if I improve, so there will be a tree-like structure, or if we graph, it may be connected like this also. So if suppose if I make it a graph here, it may be connected like this. Okay, uh, there may be a relationship like this also. So different relationship they can be formed there. So this is actually a graph data structures. So whereas in case of a linear data structure, so they will be connected one after the another. We go for a linear data structure. So we have the elements which are connected, uh, one after the another. Make it short here. So it may be connected like this, one after the another in case of a linear data structure. The elements are stored and they will be connected in a linear fashion, one by one. Either it may be a stack or a queue or a linked list or whatever it is. Okay, so that's the difference between these two. So we have the different linear data structures, the trees and graphs here. So in our discussion, so what we can do in the non-primitive data structures, the most commonly used operation is the traversal. Traversal in the sense going one after the another. So first visiting this element, then traverse to the next element, then next element, then next element, until you come to the end here. Or you are traversing in a graph. So how you are going to traverse from one element to another element? In what way you are going to traverse? So that is one way. So then if you are supposed to want to insert an element, how you are going to insert it? Then selecting, searching, sorting, merging, destroy, or deleting. All this type of operations can be performed on a non-primitive data structures. Yeah. Okay. Next, primitive data. Notice the difference here. If we talk about the difference, okay, the primitive data structure is generally a basic structure that is usually built into language such as an integer or float. Means they're built using the integer, float, or double there. So in the case of non-primitive data structure, they're built out of primitive data structures. So the primitive data structures are built on the basic data structures like integers, floats, doubles, they can be built up. Whereas in case of non-primitive data structures, they are built using, they are linked, they're built upon the primitive data. And primitive data structures మీద ఈ non-primitive data structures build up అవుతాయండి. So they can be linked using either the linked list or binary search trees or AVL trees or graphs or stacks or queues. All this comes under this non-primitive data structures there. Okay. Now this all arrays already we have discussed. Sorting, searching, this all we have discussed about arrays. The next important data structure, the first data structure today which we will discuss is about a stack. What actually is a stack? What is stack data structure? Stack is a linear data structure which follows a particular order in which the operations are performed. Means stack is a data structure in which the elements are inserted and removed from the same end. Stack is a data structure. You can take a definition that where the elements are inserted and removed from the same end. And it follows the principle last in, first out. It follows the principle last in, first out, or you can say first in, last out also. So see here. This is actually a data structure which represents stack. So food plates are there. So for suppose food plates are there. See, when you are organizing food plates, you will put one after the another, one after the other, means one above the another there. And when you are supposed to remove the last plate which you have kept at the top will be removed first. అంటే మనం ఫుడ్ ప్లేట్స్ పెట్టినప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తాం, ఒకదాని మీద ఒక ప్లేట్ మనం పెట్టుకుంటూ వస్తాం. కానీ రిమూవ్ చేసినప్పుడు మనం ఏం చేస్తాం, ఏదైతే చివర్లో ఉన్నదో, ఏదైతే పైన ఉన్నదో దాన్ని మనం రిమూవ్ చేస్తామండి. స్టాక్ అదే ప్రిన్సిపల్ని ఫాలో అవుతుందండి. ఇట్ ఫాలోస్ ద ప్రిన్సిపల్ లాస్ట్ ఇన్, ఫస్ట్ అవుట్. ఇట్ ఫాలోస్ ద ప్రిన్సిపల్ లాస్ట్ ఇన్, ఫస్ట్ అవుట్. ఓకే, అంటే ఏదైతే లాస్ట్లో మనం చేస్తామో అది ఫస్ట్ మనం బయట. సో ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ ఇన్సర్ట్ ద ఎలిమెంట్, insertion of the element in the stack is called as push operation. So we can perform the insertion operation using using push. It's called as push. And if you want to delete an element from a stack, it is called as a pop. Popping an element here. Okay. See, the stack can be implemented in two ways. Okay, the stack can be implemented using two ways here, using the arrays or using a pointer. Okay, so we can have a dynamic implementation of the stack as well as array implementation of the stack there. So you can declare an array, you can stop inserting an element into that, and then you can remove the elements as and when required there. Okay, next, as I told you, operations on the stack, you should first create a stack which is an empty stack which needs no parameters, and it returns an empty stack. Then you can push an element, you can insert an element, you can pop an element there, you can peek the element. Peek actually tell you the returns the top element of the stack, but it does not remove the element. So it does not remove the element, it will just tell you what is the topmost element. And the topmost element ఏమున్నది అన్న విషయాన్ని చెప్తున్నాడు. Okay. Now the empty is some certain operations are performed. Okay, I will talk more about this in the next classes here. Just I would like to introduce you about all the data structures today which we have. Then we will check one by one detailed in the coming classes. Right. The next is a queue data structure. So it is an ordered collection of elements where the elements are inserted from one end and removed from another end. Okay, so the elements are inserted at one end called the rear end, and the exiting an element removed from the other end called the front end. So stack follows the principle first in, first out. Say if you're standing in the line, you know that the person who entered first, who is standing first, will be coming out first there. Okay, okay. So ఎవరైతే ఫస్ట్ ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళు ఏంటంటే ఫస్ట్ బయటకు వస్తారు. So in queue we can perform two operations allowed NQ and DQ there. So NQ means inserting an element into a queue at the back of the queue. అంటే మనం ఇన్సర్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తామండి, చివరిలో యాడ్ చేస్తాం. అంటే కొత్తగా ఎవరైనా వచ్చారంటే వాళ్ళని ఏం చేస్తాం, వెనకాల యాడ్ చేస్తామండి. రిమూవ్ చేసినప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తామండి మనం, you will remove the element who whatever the element is first, you will remove that element here. So again, it can be implemented using the arrays and the pointers. Queues can be implemented using both using the arrays and the pointers. Okay, so we have a simple queue. Four types of queues are there: simple queue, circular queue, priority queues, and double-ended queues here. Okay, so we will talk more about the simple queues and the circular queues in the coming classes. Today, just as I told you that I will just give a brief idea about all type of data structures which we have. So these are few operations which are performed on the queues there, inserting an element into a queue, removing an element from a queue there, so checking whether the queue is empty or not, what is the size of the queue. Okay, next is about the linked list here. A list or linear linked list can be defined as a collection of variable number of data items called as node. Here, each element in the linked list is called as a node here. So lists are almost commonly used as non-primitive data structures here. So each node actually, in case of linked list, it is each node here, each element is called as a node here. So this is what is a node. Okay, this particular thing which I am highlighting is called as a node. Each node consists of two parts. The information part, which hold the content, whatever the information I want to store will be stored in this information part. And we have a link part, or you can call it as an address part, which actually contains the address of the next node there. Address of the next node. So when we actually want to form a list, when we want to create a link, what we can do here is we are going to create this node here. Okay, so we can store the information and we can store the address of the next node. The address of the first node, whatever is the first node is, it can be stored in a pointer. You could call it as a start, you could call it as a begin, you can call it as an head, or whatever the name which you want to, appropriate name which you want to give. So that is actually stored here. That is actually stored here. Now, from the start, means if you are having a beginning address there, take that beginning address, go and gather the information, then take the address of the next node, go to the next node here, gather the information, then take the address of the next node, go to the next node, take the information. Then when you come across with the null indicates, if the address part contains the null, actually it indicates the end of the string. Sorry, end of the list here. So this is how we are going to create a linked list here. The first part contains the information of the element. The second part contains the memory address to the next node, also called as a link part. Okay, next, again, the linked list can be of four types, basically four types. So we have a linear linked list. Of course, we can categorize them as linear linked list and circular linked list. So linear linked list can be again the single linked list and the double linked list. Circular linked list can be again divided into the single circular linked list and double circular linked list there. So we have a single linear linked list, we have double linear linked list, we have a single circular linked list, we have a double circular linked list here. Okay, so in the single linked list, as I told you, you have the address which is stored in the first pointer. We'll go to an element, we'll gather the information. The address part contains the address of the next node. like that you will become moving. Once you come at the end, okay, so the end actually the last node address part, if it is containing null, which indicates the end of the string, end of the list here. Okay, in case of single circular linked list, the difference between single linked list and single circular linked list is, once you are going to the last there, then you cannot come to the beginning. You cannot come to the beginning in case of single linked list. Whereas in circular linked list, the address part of the last node, will contain the address of the first node, so that you can iterate through again the list there. You can iterate through the entire list again there. అంటే ఎండ్కి వెళ్ళిపోయిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ స్టార్టింగ్ నోడ్ యొక్క అడ్రస్ తీసుకుని మళ్ళీ బిగినింగ్కి వచ్చి మళ్ళీ మొత్తం లిస్ట్లో మనకు కావాలంటే ఏం చేయొచ్చండి, ట్రావెల్స్ చేయడానికి స్కోప్ సింగిల్ సర్క్యులర్ లింక్ లిస్ట్లో ఉంటుందండి. వీ కెన్ ట్రావెల్స్ ద ఎంటైర్ లిస్ట్ by taking the address of the first node from the last from the address part of the last node, again come back to the beginning, and then you can traverse here. So then we have this double linked list. Double linked list here, it is actually having 3 parts now. It contains 3 parts now. So 2 address parts and 1 information part. So there will be an address part which stores the address of the next node, and there will be an address part which stores the address of the previous node. అంటే ఇప్పుడు నాకు 2 వేలో ప్రీవియస్ నోడ్ తాలూకు అడ్రస్ కూడా ఉంటుందండి, నెక్స్ట్ నోడ్ తాలూకు అడ్రస్ కూడా ఉంటుందండి. ఇక్కడైతే కేవలం నెక్స్ట్ నోడ్ తాలూకు అడ్రస్ మాత్రమే ఉందండి. ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసరికి ఏంటంటే వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ ద అడ్రస్ ఆఫ్ both the nodes there. So because it is the first node, because it is not having the previous node, it contains null, and because this is the last node which doesn't have the next node, the address part of the last node contains null. But the advantage here is you can move in either directions. You can go to the forward direction, or from one node you can come back to the backward direction in case of circular linked list. Sorry, double linked list. In case of double circular linked list, see here, no null is there. The address part of the previous address part of the first node will contains the address of the last node. The next address part of the last node will contains the address of the first node. Now in any direction you can traverse. You can move forward or backward. In case of here, ఒకసారి ఫార్వర్డ్ వెళ్ళాము అంటే మళ్ళీ ఆ ఫార్వర్డ్ చివరికి వెళ్ళిపోవడమే తప్ప మళ్ళీ బిగినింగ్ రావడానికి ఇక్కడ కుదరదు. డబుల్ లింక్ లిస్ట్ అయితే వెనక్కి రావాలి, లేదా లాస్ట్కి వెళ్ళిపోయి ఆగిపోవాలి. ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసరికి ఏంటంటే మేము లాస్ట్కి వెళ్ళి మళ్ళీ బిగినింగ్కి వచ్చేయడానికి స్కోప్ ఉంది. అలాగే వెనక్కి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ నోడ్కి వచ్చి మళ్ళీ చివరికి వెళ్ళడానికి ఇక్కడ స్కోప్ అనేది డబుల్ సర్క్యులర్ లింక్ లిస్ట్లో ఉంటుంది. సో వీటి యొక్క ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్స్ మనం కమింగ్ క్లాసెస్లో చూస్తామండి. ఓకే, హౌ టు క్రియేట్ ద లిస్ట్, హౌ టు ట్రావర్స్ దెమ్, అండ్ దోస్ ఆల్ థింగ్స్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు సీ ఇన్ ద కమింగ్ క్లాసెస్. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ we have non-linear data structures also. In this data item is connected in several other data items. So several other data items, so it is connected untundi. So the data items is non-linear data that represent hierarchical relationship. So there are 2 types of ikkada kuda manam entante each element is a data item is called as a node here. So the different non-linear data structures are trees and graphs. They are having trees and graphs, different non-linear data structures. So a tree is a data structure consisting of nodes organized in a hierarchical way. In a hierarchical way, you are going to access. So we have at the top, you have a root nodes. Then we have a subtree again. Subtree again means these are actually called as in sublinks of the root node. These are the lines which are drawn from the one node to another are called as an edges here. The trees in the hierarchical data stores the information naturally in the form of hierarchical style there. So it is a non-linear data compared to arrays, linked lists, and data stack and queues. It is non-linear when compared to arrays because linear ga undadandi, 1 by 1 ga undadu, istam vachinattu untundandi. Okay, so చూడండి ఇప్పుడు ఇదంతా కంప్లీట్ వన్ ఒక ట్రీ అనుకుంటే మళ్ళీ ఇక్కడ ట్రయాంగిల్లో వేసింది ఒక సబ్ ట్రీ అవుతుంది. ఆ సబ్ ట్రీలో మళ్ళీ బి అనేది పేరెంట్ నోడ్ అయితే దానికి చైల్డ్స్ డిఈఎఫ్ అవుతాయి. ఓకే, అలా మనం ఏంటంటే ట్రీస్ని కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ చేయడానికి ఇక్కడ స్కోప్ ఉందండి. ఇక్కడ పేరెంట్ నోడ్, వీ హ్యావ్ ద రూట్ నోడ్, ద పేరెంట్ నోడ్, చైల్డ్, అఫ్ కోర్స్ వీటి యొక్క డిగ్రీ అంటే ఏంటి, హైట్ అంటే ఏంటి, దీస్ ఆల్ థింగ్స్ వీ విల్ బి లర్నింగ్ ఇన్ ద కమింగ్ క్లాసెస్. ఓకే, Then different categories of trees we have. We have the binary trees, binary search trees, AVL trees. Okay. Heap we can construct using these trees here. Then we have graphs. It is a mathematical nonlinear data structure capable of representing many kind of physical structures. So graphs actually you might have been learning in your DMS also here that a graph G is a set of vertices V and set of edges E. Then it is a collection of nodes called vertices and connection between them called edges. We have vertices and edges among them. Okay, so this is what is an example of a graph. We have a directed graph and an undirected graph. When it is an undirected graph, you can move in either direction. So if no arrow mark is given, we can move from V1 to V3, V3 to V4, or V4 to V3, and V3 to V1. In case of directed graph, you can go in only one direction. Either you can go from V1 to V2, but you cannot come back from V2 to V1 there. So there will be a directed flow of information. There is a direction or weight. Okay, direction, and also each edge is having some weight there, some number which actually identifies the edge of that graph. Sorry, weight of that graph. Next, edge connects a pair of vertices. As I told you that the edge is something which connects a pair of vertices and may have weight such as the length, cost, and another measuring instrument there. So it may be the cost of moving from V1 to V2, or it may be the length from V1 to V2, or anything else here. Okay, then we have directed, undirected graph, simple, weighted graphs, connected graph, and non-connected graphs here. Okay, then in the graphs also, we will discuss about the various traversal techniques like breadth first search and depth first search techniques to traverse from these graphs. So this is a brief introduction about the data structures, what we are doing. So as per our syllabus also, we need to discuss about the stacks and various operations on the stacks. We have linked list, what is that? Yeah. Okay. So here it is. We need to discuss about stacks, its definition, its implementation, and any one application of the stack. We'll see the definition of queues again, the queues implementation. We'll see the implementation of queues both using arrays as well as a linked list using pointers. We'll discuss about different types of queues in the coming classes. Then we'll discuss about the single linked list, the double linked list, its implementation. Then we'll discuss about the binary trees, the traversal techniques, the introduction to the graphs, the representation, and the traversals, the breadth first search, and the depth first search there. And of course, this particular portion already we had discussed. So no, we will discuss these categories, these particular topics in the coming classes. So today's class is just an introduction about what actually is a data structure, what type of data structures we generally possess. Okay, so any doubts for anyone?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Sir.